a pretty woman in the house. She's looking all glam. And somehow I feel like we all met at 12 a.m. midnight.
To have a discussion what
we
to
just
wear.
have to put a little touch to the black. But she's looking good. We have Daisy Esiri. It's good to have you. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
So did we fly to you to tell you about the dress code?
I feel like if you were flying, maybe you would have gotten born somewhere.
Well, we don't fly here actually, but it's good to have you in the studio. You look very good. Thank you so very much. Well, before we get to know exactly who Daisy Esiri is, we'll be going for a short break, and after the break, we will be having our first tip for the day. Then we come back to the studio to start up the program, and of course, then we'll be unveiling our topic. I think I should do the honors of doing that. So let's quickly go for a short break and have a first tip for the day. Then we come back to the studio to continue the program. Stay with us.
Safety tip on cholera. Drink and use safe water. Use bottled water with unbroken seals to drink, brush your teeth, wash and prepare food, and make ice or beverages. If bottled water is not available, use water that has been properly chlorinated, boiled, or filtered. If treating with the chlorine product, treat your water with one of the locally available chlorine treatment products for drinking water and follow the instructions on the label. Wash your hands often with soap and safe water. Before, during, and after preparing food, before and after eating food or feeding your children, after using the toilet, after cleaning your child's bottom, after taking care of someone who is sick with diarrhea. Note, if you don't have access to soap and safe water, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol. Use toilets. Use toilets or safely managed sanitation facilities to get rid of poop. This includes disposing of your children's poop. If you don't have access to a toilet, poop at least 30 meters away from any body of water, including well, and bury your poop. Dispose of plastic bags containing poop in latrines or at collection points if available, or bury the bags on the ground. Do not put plastic bags in chemical toilets. Boil it, peel it, or leave it. Eat food that have been thoroughly cooked or are still hot and steaming, or fruit and vegetables that you have peeled yourself. Avoid eating raw vegetables and fruit that can't be peeled, and be sure to cook seafood, especially shellfish, until it is very hot all the way through. Clean up safely. Clean and disinfect kitchenware and areas where you prepare food with soap and safe water. Allow them to dry completely. Bathe and wash clothes or diapers 30 meters from drinking water sources. Clean and disinfect toilets and surfaces. Clean surfaces with a soap solution to remove poop, then disinfect using a solution of 1 part of household bleach. When finished cleaning, safely dispose of soapy water and disinfection solutions by pouring them into a drain, toilet, or latrine. Educate and raise awareness. Education plays a key role in cholera prevention. Encourage your family members to learn about cholera, its transmission, and preventive measures, and encourage them to follow good hygiene practices. Monitor for symptoms. Lastly, it is important to be vigilant for any signs or symptoms of cholera, such as severe diarrhea and vomiting. If the symptoms are observed, it is critical to seek medical attention promptly. Early diagnosis and treatment can significantly improve the diagnosis of cholera.
Alrighty, welcome back. Yes, that's a tip to, avoid cholera and of course to stay healthy, especially for our children growing up. Well, it's quite hard to, see adults having that, but for children, it is very easy because, of course, they mingle, they play around and all of that. Well, like we always do, we give you tips that helps you day by day to stay healthy and to stay wise. Anyways, gratitude. Do the honors of telling us the profile of my guest.
Okay, so before I read the profile, I want us to know our guest. She is a trauma, OCD, and anxiety specialist, mental health advocate, transformational counselor, in person of Daisy Esiri. You're welcome. It's so good to have you here. But before I read your profile, I want us to go for a commercial that's about to go on now. So when we're back, we'll read our profile and get to know what she really does. Stay with us. Back is still Women's Corner. So I'm going to read the profile of our guest, Daisy Esiri. She's a seasoned trauma specialist and certified OCD and anxiety expert with over a decade of experience in the mental health space. Renowned for her deep empathy, clinical precision, and faith-informed approach, she has devoted her life to helping individuals reclaim peace, clarity, and purpose. As the founder and CEO of Daisy Hub, Daisy leads a practice that offers transformative counseling for both youth and adults navigating complex emotional and psychological challenges. Our areas of expertise include trauma recovery, obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, and anxiety management. What sets Daisy apart is our unwavering compassion and ability to create safe, judgment-free spaces where healing can take root. Our therapeutic style combines spiritual depth with professional insight, offering clients a holistic path to inner transformation, whether through one-on-one counseling, group therapy, workshop, or community outreach. Daisy stands as a trusted voice in mental wellness, not only guiding clients through recovery, but walking them on a journey towards renewed hope and lasting healing. You're welcome once again. So good to have you here.
It's good to be
It's
here.
so good to have you. So much a full profile, I must say. And somehow I'll be like, you've met a lot of people, and I'm sure a lot of people have benefited from you being that professional.
Yeah.
And right here, we also want people to learn and be informed, and also they can actually reach out to you to actually be also better. And I can remember when we were chatting, I brought out the topic, and you're like, oh, this is sensitive. And I thought about it, and like, okay, it's actually very sensitive, so we have to coin it better. So now, first, as a professional, have you encountered any challenge having to be because I feel like, let me just use this, maybe as a therapist in the area that you are, I feel like sometimes you also need a therapist because you keep listening and listening and listening. So I just want to know, have you encountered any challenge during the period of course, you're still a professional, till now?
Yeah, I have. I'd say that I encounter challenges every single day.
Oh, wow.
And I do, yes, need a therapist. I do have a therapist.
Oh, great.
I have a therapist. I have very solid support system. You can see some of them here.
Oh.
So I have very solid support system. I have people that I can go back to, not directly to discuss my clients though, but just to say, okay, my head is full. I need comfort food. And they know not to ask questions. I think we have been at it for too long. So they know never to ask, okay, what happened? What did the person say? But then I have the food coming in the morning. I have the sugar that I shouldn't really be eating at that point coming regardless because, she has to feel good. So yeah, sometimes it is overwhelming. Most of the time it is overwhelming. And that's why we do need our own soundboards. We need a therapist. We have people. I have somebody I cry to. Yeah, when I receive some kind of information and I'm like, okay, I'm done.
This is a lot.
I'm done. And I can't say I'm done to my clients. I have to always be put together. And regardless, even if you tell me, oh, you're going to jump down somewhere, and I'll just be smiling. Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And in my heart, I'm screaming,
Lord help me.
Do something. And just waiting to just drop the phone and Lord help me. And when I drop the phone, sometimes I just lay on the floor. I'm so exhausted mentally.
Right. Yeah.
I just lay on the floor inside the office. I'm on the floor and I'm like, okay. I need to read one romance book. Okay. Let me run away from that. Yeah. I do it a lot. I would just get one book. In my office, you have a lot of romance novels. And it's not like I want to really read them, but it's kind of an escape for me. I've heard some certain things and I have like 6 days or 5 days to talk to someone. Yeah. So I just pick up the book and I'm like, okay, let me go into somebody else's head. let me meet one hunk. Let me meet one hunk that is six pack. His rain is falling at the right time. He's suddenly healed at the right time, and everything is working at the right time.
The color of the eyes.
So the eyes is blue. His hair is just ruffled.
Oh my word.
The jeans is dirty a bit. It's not too dirty. He has his workbook going on. I'm like, okay, great. This is very good for me at this point. So sometimes really, it's a lot. It's plenty. It's too much sometimes. So yes, I do need people myself to just talk to and say, okay, fine. I received this today. And in my head, this is how it's affecting me emotionally.
Emotionally.
I can't discuss them, but I can discuss my own feelings. I heard this today and it made me feel helpless. Like I should do more, but I can only speak for now. So a lot of times it's like that.
Oh, great. All right. So if that's the case, I want to start first because we're talking about how trauma can, lead to OCD and anxiety. So I want to take them one after the other. So first, for the issue for the purpose of understanding, people who are watching, we need to make them understand what trauma is. Some persons do not understand what trauma is. In fact, sometimes what is not traumatic, they say it's traumatic. Then what should be a trauma to them, they just wave it aside like, let it pass. They feel like, I don't need to talk to anybody. Nah, it's not a big deal. But somehow it affects them, affect their decision and progress in life. So we need to understand what trauma is and how, it could be maybe the low, I don't know how to put it, you're the expert, the low kind of trauma, or there is a higher pace of trauma. I do not know. Then also what OCD really is, because I've seen some person that was like, oh, I have OCD. I'll be like, if you have OCD, my sister, you will not just be coming out like that and just saying it out, right? And they need to understand what OCD is. And also the other part is anxiety. People need to understand what anxiety is. So do us the honors of telling us these 3 words, very strong words, exactly what they mean.
Okay, thank you. I think I'm going to first start from the back. When you said the high trauma, the low trauma, where I come from, trauma is trauma.
Trauma, right.
And we're not going to go into the big Google words this morning. Because if I use Google, then why am I here?
Yeah.
You could always use your Google. So when we're talking about trauma, everyday trauma, when I mean everyday trauma, you were correct when you said everybody uses the word trauma. Even my baby does that a lot. And it's like, mommy, you just traumatized me. I hear it a lot in the house. Anything that mommy, I had a traumatizing
It's giving
day.
you the side eyes.
I had a traumatizing day. It's a daily occurrence inside the house. Hey, mommy, so he would tell his auntie, she traumatized me. We use that word a lot. And I think the Gen Zs, it's become like a new age language. Yeah, I'm traumatized. The guy didn't call you back. Oh, I have so much trauma. And all the trauma. And, maybe you were going to the office and something just, the trauma. And, we have a lot of trauma going on now. Everywhere you go, trauma is happening. But in reality, trauma is anything that upsets your natural balance. Anything that takes you from your emotional balance, that takes it out of you, that makes you, that causes you imbalance. Let me use that word.
Makes you doubt yourself?
Other things can make you doubt yourself.
Okay.
Trauma defines your behavior.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Trauma defines the way you act, the way you talk. Trauma defines the way you see life. Now, for example, a child that has gone through sexual abuse, maybe 6 years old, the child does not really know what sexual abuse is, but the child knows that something happened. Now, that child does not have the correct information of what happened, but the body remembers the trauma. Now, that is what trauma is. Something that even though you do not have the words, your body has an understanding already. I would say the traumatic accident. Every accident is traumatic. But, there are some accidents that will make you not want to drive a car.
True. Agreed.
Yeah, I've been in an accident before myself, but I was not the one driving. But I tell you that it did give me PTSD, but I still love driving to travel. So when you say small trauma, big trauma, it actually depends on how you interpret things. It depends on where you're sitting at that point. At what angle are you looking? So trauma is basically anything that upsets balance, upsets your emotions, and upsets your body. The body has its own memory. I can forget I was raped, but if a man comes to me and opens my leg, my body immediately fights. Now, I might have not remembered it. Now, let me give myself as an example. When I was young, I was molested. And it took me a while. I was molested first by women.
Oh my God.
Yes. So it took me a while. I had this idea that I prefer the male gender because I don't have, direct sisters. I have family sisters, but I was born with boys, boys are in the house. And I had this idea. I was a child. So I indirectly interpreted that men are safer Now that was how my brain interpreted that
Can
trauma.
you kindly tell us the trauma women? Because a lot of people will be wondering, how can a woman traumatize a fellow woman?
A woman can rape you.
Oh, wow.
Yes, a woman can rape you. And when I was 8 years old, our maid, domestic help then, she severally at night, I did not understand. And that's why I said, I did not understand. Does not mean my body did not record. It did record what was happening. And it did show that I had an assailant around. I did not know, but my body knew. So she would come at night and she would get my PJs up, get her hands into my vagina and do all sorts.
Oh, wow.
So as a child, I didn't understand. In short, funny enough, I actually forgot. Until I was in secondary school and then a close family friend of ours tried to rape me again. A lady. Now. She tried to rape me on a Sunday. We were just hanging out in their house and next thing I was on the bed. She was taller than me and she used her elbow to pin me down and she was trying to get into my pants. And yes, there was penetration. She used her fingers. So I was bruised and all. So in my mind, I did not remember the first one. It took me years to get to that. But you see that second one, now I did not just have body memory. I had now brain memory. Because I could actually put into words what had happened. So it took me a while. I now had my best friend was a guy. I could not sleep around girls. I was in the boarding school, but they had to pay for a private boarding school for me. I attended being a boarding school, they now had private hostels. So that they would allow me stay alone. So we're like two in our room. I couldn't sleep with women. It was not even possible. Because somewhere in my mind, I have interpreted that women are dangerous. Now that's what trauma does. Trauma does not use common sense. Trauma uses emotion sense. So if my emotions felt threatened at that point, I would see every other person. I would look at life through that lens. And so after that, I had problems. Even when I was having my baby, I had to ask for a female doctor. I said, female doctor, they say, I said, I don't want her. I said, I want a male doctor. And the doctor, he looked at me and he said,
that's strange.
He said, why are you doing this? He said, they're going to open your legs? I said, they should go ahead and open it. I had problems dressing up in front of girls, but I didn't have problems dressing up in front of men.
Wow.
I could do whatever I was close to. My male friends could sleep in my room. I had no problem with it. But when you say family, girl in my room, what? Are you playing? Don't come. I would look for every reason you wouldn't come. So somehow I had not dealt with it, but that's what trauma is. Trauma is memory. Trauma is anything that would upset the normal way you should think. Now, that's what trauma is. Now, we're moving on to OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. Another Gen Z word. I have OCD. Yeah, it's everywhere now. I have OCD. You see, I'm suffering from OCD. And I'm like, okay, what gave you OCD? I love it. There's ADHD now.
Yeah,
that's right.
Attention deficit.
They are using it now.
Oh my God, it's everywhere. I have ADHD. I didn't even know I was on the spectrum. I said, which spectrum are you? Who put you on that spectrum? Are you high or you low? What spectrum? What scale are you reading? And I'm ADHD. I'm an ADHD survivor. I said, my dear, it's not that you survived anything. You refuse to read your book. Don't tell me what I don't know. Because I said that's the way I failed in secondary school. It was ADHD. I never knew. I said, so you watch 1 2-minute clip on YouTube and you have diagnosed your lifetime problem? I said, oh, you don't want to be responsible, my dear. And that's a Gen Z word again. So OCD, normally it's a biological thing. Honestly. I know people don't know this. They will say, oh, it is activated by some certain types of trauma. But it is biological. It's there, but you don't know that it's there. It has a timer. It will come up. Now, if you as a child were molested, you can become very obsessive with, I have to wear trousers.
Checking the locks.
Trousers. As I'm saying trousers, some people here, they understand what I'm saying. I don't wear gowns. I have to mentally prepare to wear any gown.
Really?
I have to tell myself, this is why you're going to wear a gown today. And because I have had women try to break into my pants because I was wearing gowns. I don't sleep with gowns. I don't have a nightgown that is a gown. I need to wear pajamas. I wear pajamas. I always wear trousers. So you now have, you say it's OCD, it's OCD, right? And no, it's not. No, that's just a trauma response. It's not OCD. You come excessively, okay, I'm cleaning. It's not OCD. You have to be properly diagnosed to know you have OCD. You know, you cannot bring TikTok into the play.
No.
If not, everybody will have
OCD. True.
So, you know, so what OCD really means, the obsessive compulsive disorder, it is not in the cleaning. Yes. It is not in the cleaning. It is not in the wearing of my pants. You know, it is not in the making sure the door is shut. It is inside here. It is the continuous obsessive thinking. That is what it is. It is the obsessing over everything. I am obsessing over cars. Nobody's there.
But it's just you.
It's there. I'm functioning properly. That's the funny thing. But I'm obsessing. And it's silent. It's not, that I said, it's not your cleaning. We have, Gen Z has diagnosed OCD by being clean. Now, for heaven's sake, it is normal. We should all be clean. Now, you cleaning your house 3 times a day, it's not bad. It just shows that you're messy. It just shows that you're messy. You have no reason to clean a house that is already clean. So it shows that you're messy. So you cleaning the house 3 times, 4 times does not mean you have OCD. It means that you need to work on your hygiene. Now, you washing your hands 3, 4 times, it means that you touch things that you shouldn't touch. You are just being normal. Now, normal is interpreted as abnormal. Because I think it's, I don't know, is it a Gen Z thing again?
Yeah,
I think
let
me have mercy on the Gen Z now. I think it's a people thing. Let me have mercy on the Gen Z. It's a people thing. You know, because these are the things we should do. We should be conscious about the things we wear. Yes. It doesn't have anything to do with OCD. Yes, it is OCD means it is no longer normal. Now, it is normal for me to sweep my house 3, 4 times a day. If it is messy, I need to clean it. It's the truth. Even if it's messy 10 times, I will sweep it 10 times. It's normal. But there are other things that signify there's OCD living there. It is the silent obsession. Yes. OCD is obsessing over a relationship. Sitting down there, calculating for him. Gen Zs. You have won your wedding gown. You have bought the new iPhone 17. You have seen your 3 children. You have talked to his parents in your mind. You're obsessing over him. Has he called? Obsessing over every word that comes from his mouth. And he says things like, I wish you were slimmer. And the next thing, you are
keep
considering
thinking
BBL.
about that.
And you're thinking, okay, if I save for the next 10 years, I'll be able to afford a BBL. Or maybe if I steal, you get killed most likely, so don't steal. So,
obviously.
You know, if I do this, in your mind, you're obsessing over things you shouldn't obsess over. You are cutting down things you shouldn't cut down. You are thinking, okay, he said that he doesn't like his food hot.
How do I go about it?
And your mind is going overdrive. Now, that is what true obsession is. True obsession is not the, I love you! I love you! True obsession is, as it's going out, I should come back alive. There's one person in his office. I just want to say, if he dies,
or is he going to see someone?
Will he live till 50? Will he live till 70? Someone said hi to me yesterday. And it's just going on in your head. Now, considering what Gen Z sees OCD as, I think a lot of education needs to now come in. And know that these terms are terms that need diagnosis. There are terms that need diagnosis, from trauma to depression. A lot of, I'm depressed. I'm so depressed. I feel depressed. I don't know how many times I just get, I need to talk to you, ma. I feel depressed. And I'm thinking, you don't have problem. I was okay, let's hear it. You know, I can't say don't speak.
Of course.
And let's listen.
So you have to listen to them.
Speak. Sure. So why are you depressed? It's the way he spoke to me. He didn't call. Ma, 3 days, he has not called me. Can you imagine? I'm so depressed. I can't sleep.
What would you call that, actually?
I'll call that you need a job, girl. You need a book to read.
Yes, you do.
You need to get busy.
You need an hobby. Please get a job. Your job is not hectic enough. You need something hectic.
Oh, yeah.
So you have time.
Very
you
true.
shouldn't be. Don't say what you're saying. You're stressing me. You're not depressed. that you need something else to channel this energy.
Mhm.
So, because true depression is not something you can easily say.
Yeah.
You know, so all these things, they need diagnosis. Now, when we talk about anxiety, true anxiety, we have like everyday anxiety.
Mm.
I have anxiety. I'm going to talk on the TV today,
Mm.
and I can't sleep at night. And I just tell myself, I'm talking to my friend later at night. I'm like, do you know, I just realized I have anxiety disorder.
What?
People say that. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to write an exam and I feel jittery. I have anxiety disorder. But that's a lie. You need diagnosis for these things.
Mm.
Because you cannot diagnose yourself. You're not a doctor.
Mhm.
Now, the first thing that you need to understand about anxiety is every day we live with anxiety.
Mhm.
Now, anxiety is now abnormal when it doesn't go.
It's there.
It stays. Anxiety is, I am constantly worried. I am constantly afraid. I'm lying down in my house. I don't need to enter the car, but I am even afraid that something will fall from my roof and kill me.
Hmm.
You know, anxiety is going to bat, and I see the news and I see, okay, somebody slipped and died. And I'm thinking,
I sleep and die.
you know,
What is
it doesn't go. Everything, you are unable. Anxiety is something I call a paralyzer. It will paralyze your life.
Not to do anything.
You can't do nothing. Now, that is what real anxiety is.
Mm.
If you're going to see your boyfriend for the first time and you're telling me, oh, no, I'm so worried. Oh, I felt cold. My hands were cold. They were shaking. My dear, it's not, you're worried that I might smell something you shouldn't smell. Don't stress me. You know, maybe you don't use the correct perfume. You're smelling, girl. Wash your bra. Do something. Like, this is normal. Don't stress me with your, I have anxiety disorder. Or the guy says, oh, I was going to meet her for the first time. Guy, you don't have anxiety disorder. This is everyday anxiety. It's possible that your English is not correct. Guy, correct your English before you go. You know, there are certain things that we can do to change the way we feel. Anxiety is not, I felt jittery and I met you and we just clicked. And anxiety suddenly jumps out the...
No way.
That is normal performance anxiety. Now, anxiety is, I'm going to church. It's possible that this keke I entered, Dangote truck, I'd fall on it. It's possible that when I'm coming down from my stairs, I will sleep and die and hit my head on the floor. That is what real anxiety. And people are really living with these things. Now, OCD, anxiety, and trauma, they are best friends. Because every mental disorder, now, let me quickly differentiate this. Mental issues are different from mental disorders. Some of us, a lot of us, we have mental issues in Nigeria. We are stressed.
Tell me again.
We are stressed. There is nowhere there is no mental issues. I have mental issues. There is nowhere there's no mental issues. I'm stressing over one thing or the other. Sometimes I'm having functional depression and I'm still talking to people. So that is just a mental issue. It is not a disorder.
Yeah.
I do not need drugs
To
balance my hormones. I do not need drugs to balance the chemicals in my system. Now, these are normal issues. Now, disorders are what we need drugs for. Disorders are what we actually need prescription for. So, OCD on its own is biological. It is triggered by trauma. Sometimes. Yes, these things have triggers. Everything has triggers. Anybody can have OCD now. You wouldn't know. But something can trigger it. Something. It can be the death of a loved one. And then you start having this obsessive thing about death. And every day you're thinking about death. If somebody dies, what happens? After death is what? And you start looking at the things you're reading and you're reading about death. Now, this obsession with death did not come randomly. Something triggered it.
Yeah.
Some people are going to live with OCD all their lives. Some people will not. So trauma is a trigger to these things. Anxiety also is biological. It's the truth. There are some people that are born worried. Now, they have drugs that actually regulate these things. And there are some people that trauma-induced anxiety. But there's no play in any of them because they can all lead to death. There's no play in any of them. So these things, trauma is kind of the base, the root cause of problems. Trauma is the key. You know, the trauma of separated parents, the trauma of domestic abuse, sexual abuse, the trauma of death. You know, We don't do a lot of grief in Nigeria. We don't allow a lot of, in Africa, we do not do grief properly.
We don't stay long on it.
Yes, we don't sit with grief, and we should. We should sit with grief. We should sit with grief. We should actually take time out. When I lost my dad and I was told, I took some time out. I did nothing. I was not crying, no. I was just coming into the realization that death is actually final. You know, and I'm not dying anytime soon. God helping me.
Amen.
I'm not thinking of death because I'm living. Now, that is what anxiety does. Anxiety will take you 20 years. And I've heard people tell me, I don't want to live till I'm 70. I just want to die quick.
Yes. That's true.
Is that normal?
It's not.
It's not normal. They have a very weird relationship with death, and it's from an experience.
You know what? We're going to continue with that. This is so intriguing. Do you know we've not gone into our topics? We're just defining the words. And you can say, we'll definitely have to bring you back. And we'll still continue with this topic. But before we continue what we're saying, let's quickly go for a short break just to, allow this one simmer down and rest and understand, think about it. So, of course, when we come back, we'll continue from where she stopped. But for now, let's go for a short break and have the next tip. And we'll be right back to the studio to continue the program. Stay with us. Okay, welcome back from that tip. Well, let's just go over. I don't know what to talk about the tip, but we watched that, so we learned a lot. So let's go back to what you were saying. You were actually talking about anxiety and combining the three together, stating that trauma is the root to most of all this mental issues or disorder that we have. So please go ahead.
Trauma is I think that's why I'm actually specialized in trauma. Because what's this side of the continent, the world, we do not respond to things like we should. Now, a parent punishing a child because I'm not buying you clothes because you didn't do well in school, now that's trauma. That is real trauma. That is neglect. That is financial abuse. Now, a parent asking the child to kneel down and repent every time the child says a lie. Now that is religious abuse. Now that is trauma. So when I say trauma is the key, a lot of us Africans, we live with one form of trauma or the other. I've met people say, oh, I would never beat my kids because of the way my parents beat me. They are beating traumatized me. And I will listen to you, but I'll tell you that's the wrong way to go about it. But truly, you should beat your kid if the kid does something that is, that warranties that beating. But you shouldn't beat your kid because you think that is the correct way to actually correct. So a lot of us, we have this, we already have traumas that we're living with. We have traumas that have traumatized trauma. We have generational traumas being passed down from parents to parents. Our parenting style is traumatic. Now, our parents did not parent us just because they're parenting us because of the way they were also parented. So it is a traumatic thing that has been passed from, just like the DNA, you pass your blood group, you pass your whatnot, you also pass trauma down. Yes, you also pass trauma down. You have an ancestor that was obsessing over death. Now, obsession can lead to depression. Obsession can lead to suicide. Obsession, this is what obsession does. Obsession can lead to anxiety. Now, anxiety and depression, they are inside the same boat. Yes, because depression, you cannot really pinpoint what actually ignites depression. But depression is basically you're sitting on things that might have happened. You're living in the past. You are just lost in yourself. Now, anxiety is more futuristic. Anxiety is futuristic because it sees a future you're not seeing. You don't know tomorrow, but anxiety does. Anxiety gives you 10 ways to die. Yes, in a tomorrow that is most likely safe. Now, this can actually be passed down and become biological. Yes, it can actually be passed down. You have parents that say, oh, my mom was a worrywart. And you too. You pick it up. And then something now happens to your own child that the child thinks, I didn't worry enough, and that was why I got this injury. And then it now doubles. Now, you see the trauma is
Passing
going up.
on.
As it's passing up, it's increasing.
Mhm.
Because we have different situations, different things happening. We do not have the same thing happening to us. And now the way we interpret things. Some people can decide never to have sex in their lives because they were raped.
Yeah.
While some people can decide to have sex every day with whoever because they were raped. Now, the same thing can happen to us. Your biological makeup comes in. Your mental makeup comes in. Your character comes in. These are the things that determines how you are going to react to traumatic situations. Now, let me use myself as another example. If I was molested by women and anally raped by a guy growing up, in the university, somebody that it's just, and I decided, okay, fine. I'm never going to trust any man
or woman
in my life. How am I going to live? Now, there are some people that have gone through these things and have decided never to trust anybody again. And you cannot fault them. Because the same thing happened to us, but our biological makeup is different. I grew up in a place where we're sheltered and there's a lot of fear. Fear to try new things. Fear you're traveling out of the country, you're afraid. Fear to make decisions that are not that strange. Just fear, real fear. Yes, real fear. I grew up like that. So then I realized that things now started happening to me that, made me feel you shouldn't even go and visit anybody again. You shouldn't trust anybody again. Now, the way I grew up just amplified.
Sure.
It amplified. Naturally, I wouldn't go near water because my mom said water killed her friend. Now we should not go near water. The water from the place you're from. And I said, see, my son must learn how to swim. It's not, yes.
You wanted to break that thing for yourself.
I said no. I said nobody, water did not kill anybody I know. I said, even if water did, it's not going to kill my own.
So he has to learn how to swim.
Yeah, he has to. That is the only, okay, if you go, you don't want to enter, he will enter the boat. Why? You cannot kill him in that boat.
Yeah.
I need him to not inherit trauma from me.
Yeah.
I need him to be able to take healthy risks as a human being. Because what are you living if you can't do these things? Now, that is what trauma does. Trauma will ignite that obsession. Obsession with safety. Safety. And while you're obsessing over safety, it now ignites the anxiety of fear. So you have OCD shouting, safety. And you have anxiety shouting, fear.
No, that should be the fear of death.
So while you are obsessing over your safety, anxiety is what is
igniting.
Yeah.
It's pushing you and saying, death. And then you start obsessing over safety, means of safety. Okay, how can I be safe? If I don't go out of the house today, it's possible. Oh, trailer fell on somebody on that bridge yesterday. If I pass, is it possible? The trailer will fall on me. Okay, I'm supposed to go somewhere next week. And you call, I cannot go again. Now, you see, I've just named a tree now. Now, the only way to cut off that tree is to first identify the tree. Where did it start from? You have to now go 2 generations back. How did your mom grow up? You have guys that their mom beat their mothers. Yeah. They will tell you, I will never beat my wife. And then just one day, the wife will do just a little bit.
Very little bit.
Enough.
Yeah.
And then the dam breaks and he goes boom. Yeah. Like I said, it is biological. It goes beyond, I will never do it. Because you do not know how you respond in situations. So I think what is most important is you have, something happened that has really impacted you, has impacted your mind, your body. You deal with it, identify it. Okay, what happened to me yesterday? It was not good. And talk about it properly. Don't sit down and pray trauma away. See, Gen Zs.
Oh, please.
Your helper is not on Instagram.
It's not on TikTok.
It's not on TikTok. Like, this is me praying. This is me pleading. This is me crying. Your solution is not on ChatGPT. Leave it alone. ChatGPT will tell you have a brain tumor. It's just headache.
Yeah.
You ever seen your period, my dear? You know,
Or you just need to drink water and rest.
Yes, just rest.
do you get it? Now, you need to talk to people that know what they're doing. Because that person you might be talking to in church might have unresolved trauma.
Yeah.
And is now advising you
Based on his own trauma.
based on trauma. And then we have people that are living, breathing with trauma. Hey, your fear is valid. Don't validate nonsense. Your fear, it might make sense, but it's not valid. Yes, for it to occur to you, the possibility, but doesn't mean that it is a certainty. Possibility and certainties, they are two different things.
Yeah.
Yes. So a possibility, there's still a chance that it change. But when it is certain, it comes.
Change, yeah.
So certain, it is not certain that the sun is going to come out today. Rain might fall.
All through.
It is a possibility that rain will fall. And that is the way we humans are. There's no certainty with us. So anxiety tells you certainty. OCD tells you certainty. Trauma gives you possibilities of those certainties. That is what happens. It gives you possibilities. But in reality, it's just an illusion.
Okay. So we can't ask questions.
Oh my
Sorry.
God,
you can do that after the program. I've just been giving us time. Is that our time is up? Wow. It's already time and we have to go. Well, I love the part where you said trauma is a possibility. But you see, OCD and anxiety is what they call certainty. It's what just gives you this. Oh, let's not go again. Let's just stop there. Because when I talk, I want to keep talking just to refresh my memories. But it's nice having you here. Seriously, Daisy, you've done so very well today, talking a lot. And I was wondering why you were not asking me what's the time range. You should have even requested for 2 hours. Because when I said 20 to 25 minutes, you're like, oh yeah, nice. Now it's not nice. We need like 2 days if possible. It was lovely having you in the studio. Thank you for sharing your experience with people so people could actually know that there is a passion, there is a reason why you are there and why people need to understand that these things happen, but we can be better.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And I hope you enjoyed the show.
I did. I did. I've been seeing a lot of Gen Zs. Their smiles is activating me.
Yeah.
It's igniting me and triggering me to go on with the Gen Zs. Let's match.
Yes, we're matching on. Anyway, we've come to the end of the program. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned one or two things. Well, I did learn a whole lot from start to finish. And of course, trust me, we'll be bringing her back pretty soon. Usually my producer takes about a month, but I don't think I will let Daisy rest for a month before bringing her back to the studio.